you've just referenced the Martin Parr film, which
Yes.
is recent project.
Recent project, yes.
I Am Martin Parr.
Yes, I am not Martin Parr,
well,
but
no,
I
but-
wish I was. But I love Martin Parr. I love Martin, yeah.
Which I thoroughly enjoyed. It was,
great.
I mean, it was
Yeah,
it's
it's fun.
really, I won't bastardize the story, but you went and took him.
I kidnapped him. I kept him saying
You kidnapped him and took him back to the places that he had
Yeah.
lived and taken photographs earlier in his career. Yeah. And I thought it was he strikes me as just such a charming man. But maybe charming's not the right word.
Good.
Maybe he's-
Yes, I'm going to look at the camera. He's a charming man. No, but I know Martin because we worked together beforehand. We met at Art. That's another thing that happened. I mean, he walked out of the house that I did in Art and literally physically walked into me, bumped into me. And I remember seeing him. And
Were you starstruck? You knew exactly
although
who
I
he
knew
was?
but not many people do because he looks like everybody. I knew he was. And I wanted to tell him how much I loved his work, and I wanted to say I love your work, but I just said I love you, and I stopped there. And he looked at me like I was an idiot. I went, no, I mean I love your work, and I was like falling apart. And he was telling me how much he'd loved my work, and then that's how we met. And then it was Magnum that came to me to work with me, and I didn't really want to work with Magnum because it wasn't, not to be rude, but they kind of represented the other part of photography which I was not comfortable with. And then Martin said, well, I want to work with you, and we did this book Deja Vu. So we put our archives together and made this great project that became a lot of exhibitions, and we had fun. So we got to know each other, became friends. He really loves my work. I love what he does. And then as we were working about it, there was the idea of a documentary, getting back to my film roots, and it made sense to go with Martin. And Martin had never really done a documentary. He's a big hero. I mean, he was really influenced by his work. Even my advertising kind of was very much based on kind of mad people, very coloured. And I think even in the film, the way I shot the film with Martin looks like my work, but it obviously looks like a Martin Parr photo.
Yeah.
So that's how I've always worked visually. And so everyone said, oh no, he'll never say yes. And I called him and went, yes. And he just sent me a mail with one word, yes. So I went, great.
I mean, I love that about him because you wouldn't necessarily imagine it, but the fact that he has enough humility to say, yeah, this anonymous work holds up and it pairs really interestingly and beautifully
He's a
with
genius.
his own.
Yeah.
That's that's a mark of enormous self-confidence and
But the thing about Martin is, I'd hate this because he also says I'm a photographer, I'm not an artist. And then one day we were doing a thing and he said, oh, I'm an artist. And I said, oh, you said you're an artist now. He goes, pays better. But he's very funny. He's very honest. He's the most honest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
So people think he's really rude and everything like this, and people, I find it. He's not. He's the sweetest, giant, kindest. With me, he's been the most incredibly generous, and obviously we've worked together. And I think what's great, it's been a real pairing because I brought obviously a long, young crowd, and not that much young, but a much younger crowd to his work. And he's obviously being associated with Martin can't be bad for your health as well.
No.
So, and it's been a real exchange, and we hang out a lot. We just spent a week in Italy together and doing stuff, and we spend a lot of time. And the thing is, when I wanted to do the film, I said, I wanted to go back on this thing. I wanted to be like this road trip and get in there, and I wanted to film it and be close to him, and he was great. And it was, it's not easy making a film. I mean, I'm going to say this now. You photographers, you got it easy. But filmmaking is a really hard thing, and obviously spent nearly almost a year making it. So
really?
Not shooting it, but editing it and kind of putting myself into it and kind of getting the right thing. I mean, Martin I think he is, for me, someone very important to me. I mean, in the photography world, he's important to everybody. Everyone knows his work. But he's still, people like him and hate him. And these are for me, the great artists are these people here that kind of divide people.
Yeah.
I remember when I was young and people were like, it's ugly, it's too colourful, it's badly framed, he cuts people's heads on, all these things. It was, the opposite of cartoon breasts on and stuff like this. He had this big argument with him as well. But these are people who move things forward. And I think what's great about Martin is he non-stop works. I mean, you see it in the film. This is what I want people to understand, is people say, oh, my best work behind me. Martin never stops. And he is 24 hours doing what he does. I think my obsessional character and nature was worrying me slightly. And so meeting Martin makes you feel better about yourself. Self-therapy with Martin. But I think it's something we share, just this total obsession of our work that takes over our lives. And we forgive all our loved ones for this. But, it's something we share. We talk about it. He teaches me a lot. It's a real, I'm very, very lucky to not only have him as, I love the work he does, but also I consider him as a friend and someone that I can really, if I do something, I show it to him and he doesn't like it, he won't say, oh, it's nice, but he goes, oh, this is a pile of shit.
Yeah.
and he'll tell me, and I think he does. I think he doesn't like my last book, and then he has one book I did before. He goes, "Oh, that's good. I love that one. Don't like that one. Love
Yeah.
this one." But he's so straight and honest. So it's nice to work with people like that.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to Compelling, a podcast exploring the dynamic intersection of art, culture, and luxury. You can find out more or get in touch at thecompellingpodcast.com.